Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's up, Gump? And what's up, freaks? Welcome to the circus. Hopefully you want to stay along for the show. We're going to see if we can't get this freak to do a little trick for you. You ready, Gump? Let's go!
To some losses through the process had me furious, but I got eyes on the vision, can't get delirious. Fall in love with the game and then you marry it. I think I married it. This the anthem. If you reckon with it, put your hands up. Yeah, this the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up.
Alright, let's jump into getting this green car together. First, I do my best to be organized, so I lay everything out to the best of my ability, starting off with a Fel Pro composite head gasket, ARP head studs, cleaned up head and cleaned up block. Obviously, we're going to start off by installing these studs. I'm very aware that what I'm about to say next is going to seem obvious, but I promise you, it's not. Make sure you have the head gasket on correct. I've heard of people putting it on upside down, sideways, and everything you can think of. Then, of course, the washers and the nuts for the studs. And go to your service manual. Double check the tightening sequence. Make sure you're tightening in the correct order. Make sure you are tightening to the correct torque specs. The OEM bolts ultimately have a different torque spec than the ARP head studs. So again, make sure you are double checking in the service manual or the ARP recommendations to torque to the correct settings. I don't even need to be on the other side to know that that's terrible. The position, the welder settings, he can't really adjust how he wants to, but he's gonna get it done for me, because that's what he does.
Technologia!
Daggum, factory finish. We're gonna seal for sure now, dude. Oh, that's perfect. Absolutely rocked it. So fired up. It was almost a weird blessing I forgot to put that pump ring back on, because by tearing it apart, I realized that the brake disc and plates were not in great shape, so I swapped them out for new ones. Now we hop in there and throw in the planetary gear assembly. Once that's in, we get the forward sun gears in here. Now you want to make sure this and this on the low reverse brake is lined up with this and this. Trust me, you don't want those problems with installing that incorrectly. Now when installing the band, again, double check the arrow to make sure it's facing outwards on the transmission. It will not fit properly the other way, so you might find out if you're doing it wrong anyway. As far as the front end and rear clutch packs, this is the way the service manual says to install them. For some reason, it wasn't working for me. I found that this was the best way. Now for me, right now, it's real elementary. Double checking the service manual to make sure I'm not missing anything like I did last time. Quite frankly, I didn't know that there was another, I'm going to call it washer, but that's incorrect, on the back of the pump, so when I set the pump down, it fell off. This time I know it's there, so I won't miss it. Check your torque specs on everything. I promise you, it's more important than you think. So we did just that, got all the bolts in, no destruction this time. Thank you, Jesus. After digging deeper this time around and finding problems I would not have found if I didn't, I figured it was best to dig into the end clutch. This is where a lot of problems come from. People hot rod on their car in overdrive and it burns these clutch packs up. There is also a seal inside of here that tends to go bad, and be very careful installing it back in there because a lot of people tend to pinch it. So again, just take your time, read the service manual, double check your work, lay things out so you know where they go if you don't know what you're doing like me. It gives you some reassurance, I promise. I've had the clutches soaking in ATF, and I'm just doing my very best to make sure that things are clean that I can clean. I don't have replacement steels, so I'm doing the best with what I got, but I promise you these clutches are going to be better than the old ones. Now I've got the transmission back together to the best of my ability. One learning curve after another, I hope I figured it out. Of course, I'll keep you updated on the results. Until then, let's head over to the engine and start getting it back together. I don't have as much of a plan as I would have liked. A lot of my parts weren't here, but I'm getting it back together. So let's start off by getting the power steering bracket back on. Then let's randomly pop over here and get these timing covers on because I seen them on the table. Squirrel. Go ahead and get this head put back together, the rockers, the lifters. They've been bled and been soaking. Got to get this camshafts back on, cam caps. Of course, go to the service manual, check the torque. I don't have a torque wrench that goes that low, but I know it's 15 pounds, and I'm going to trust my good old torque arm. Should I? We'll find out. Now it's time to get the timing belt on. It's not a complicated process. But after you get it all installed and you think you got it dialed, go ahead and rotate the engine. I think it's 6 times to make sure that the timing marks line back up where they're supposed to. And again, for no reason other than the fact I've seen it on the table, let's get this intake manifold on. Not a complicated thing. I'm going to throw this intercooler pipe on there because it is a pain in the butt to do off the car, but on the car it really sucks. Now to install the thermostat housing. Luckily I have that AO Customs O-ring job. I'm telling you what, that thing is the barn cat's pajamas, y'all. Then let's hop over here and install this fuel rail. Just so I can remember that I don't like this coil bracket underneath the intake manifold. Oh wait, it won't fit with the stock one anyway. So I gotta take the fuel rail back off and then put the stock location coil bracket on. Not a big deal, but I love doing things twice. Now let's hop over here to the turbo setup and get this installed. I tore it apart because I was gonna sell it, but the buyer never came through. So I'm gonna use it on this car. Will it do anything for me? No, because I'm not even gonna touch its potential, but I want a non-smoking turbo on there, so I put it together and I put it on here, and I'm gonna just enjoy it. Now my least favorite part of the entire day, changing out these daggum door handles. It sucks all the time anyway, but I have no power to the car, and with this window being half down, it became an extra pain in the butt.
So boom, that's all the progress for today's video. I'm going outside my comfort zone. People keep asking for how-to videos. You keep forgetting, I almost don't know how to. I just tear stuff apart, read the books, blocks, shape, oh, thing, stuff, done. You just gotta try it. What's the worst thing that happens? You gain the skill to do it right the second time. And you gotta spend a bunch of money. Ask me how I know. Anyway, you'll never know if you don't try. How's your projects doing? You out there working on them? I promise, what? If you're not, they're not gonna get done. Anyway, as always, I encourage you guys to be just like Gumpy is with his ball. And get out there. Get outside your daggone comfort zone. Feed dreams and start fears, y'all.